productivity and competitiveness is driven by many things. In fact, this is the real challenge of competitiveness. If competitiveness was just setting one policy, it might be hard, but it would be relatively easy. The problem is that competitiveness is setting hundreds of policies, thousands of policies, affecting every aspect of the fabric of an economy and a society. As we see on this slide, when we think about competitiveness and when we try to explain competitiveness across countries, a whole series of fundamental drivers are involved. Starting with macroeconomic policy, which we all know, but also social infrastructure, like education systems and health systems are fundamental. The quality of political institutions and the way government works is fundamental. And then, of course, the microeconomic factors like the business environment, the efficiency with which business can be done, the efficiency with which goods and services can be moved around. Communication takes place, information flows. The sophistication of the companies themselves. Last night's Saudi Fast Growth 100 ceremony was really about trying to capture and stimulate the improvement in the corporate sector, and in particular in entrepreneurship. So to build a competitive economy, we have to build competitive companies that are world-class, that operate with the best ideas and the best strategies and the best methods and the best technology. And we also know that to build a competitive economy, we have to build clusters. We have to build areas where we have a critical mass, where we have enough companies and enough knowledge and enough expertise that we can truly be productive, as Saudi Arabia has done in petrochemicals, as it's trying to do in other fields as well. This is a daunting agenda, the agenda of competitiveness. The reason that so many countries can't make progress is that it's so complicated. There's so many things that have to improve, and you can be overwhelmed because one can't do everything at once. It takes time, it takes commitment, it takes consistency to truly drive competitiveness, because you have to touch so many areas that are part of the job of every single ministry of government. To really, truly transform competitiveness. We find that productivity, which is fundamentally what competitiveness is all about, can be very strongly affected by coordinating policies with the neighbors in a variety of ways. And we'll talk about some of those in just a moment. If you can integrate your region, that makes investment more attractive in every country. Because by coming into one country, you can serve the region, not just the local market. And finally, if you can talk as a region and act as a region, you can often have much more weight and influence in international relations, including with the international financial institutions, the international development institutions, and others with which the country deals. Yes, Saudi Arabia is a substantial country, but if Saudi Arabia goes with the whole region, it is even more influential. That's what we've found in other parts of the world, as we've seen the history of development and competitiveness development agendas. Now, when we think about regional integration, the traditional kind of thinking about regional integration it tends to be relatively narrow. The focus traditionally has been primarily on trade and market opening. Opening the region to be a free trade zone, a customs union, a common market, and supportive steps that will encourage that opening of trade and investment. But I believe very strongly that that's a too limited view. That actually regional integration is much more important than that. It's not just about trade, it's not just about investment, it's about competitiveness. It's about using a collaboration to impact the many, many, many areas that affect competitiveness. All the way from logistics to financial markets to energy use and more.